comment on the new APR ratings that came out? Good news for you guys.
I haven't seen them.
Top 10% for football.
Oh, well, that's great. I think that's where we'd been. Anyway, but a lot of that credit goes to Chris Breen, who's our academic guy. He does a great job with all that stuff. We're very fortunate to have him.
What you mentioned Chris before? Could you give us a sense of like what he's done that's helped with your guys?
Well, I think he's developed a relationship with our players, and I think that they can see that he's sincere and that he cares about them, and that he's trying to help them. And so when you get that kind of respect, and not just Chris, I mean there's the tutors, the academic coaches, all those people I think do a nice job, and our guys have done a nice job with school. We try to make sure they go to class and do what they're supposed to do, but you have to give them the credit. I mean, they're the guys who are going to school and doing it.
Can you talk a little bit about the new NCAA rules with the Twitter and the unlimited text messaging? Any of your thoughts on it?
I think the other sports have been doing it for a long time. I don't know why it took so long, really. I can't see why anybody would be against that rule. Because a lot of times you get texts from people you don't even know. You're afraid to text them back, afraid it's a recruit, afraid it's whatever. So I think it's a good rule. And when people say, well, at least on Twitter you had to follow you or whatever. I mean, the last time I looked at my phone, there's a block function if I wanted to block a number. So it's not that hard.
What's the status of Christian Philpott? Has he made any strides in getting back?
You know what? He's had a rough spring. He hadn't been out there. He got out there for about 14 or 15 periods, and then he kind of tweaked it again. So he's missed pretty much the whole spring. It's been disappointing for him, I know, and we wanted to really have a chance to evaluate him. So it's been tough on him this spring.
So he's down probably for the rest of.
I don't think he'll be back the rest of the spring.
Can you talk a little bit about the offensive line, just kind of what it looks like as
Yeah, it's just a work in progress. I mean, we're sliding some guys around. That's what spring practice is about. You move some guys. We got Will Bryan playing guard now, and I think that's a good move for us. He's looked good the last couple of days. So we moved Andy Marshall back to center. So right now you got Eason and Will on the left side, Andy at center, and today it was Brad Morgan and Trey Glock. That right guard thing has been kind of interchangeable. I think we're going to move Stick back out to tackle, and we moved Scott Morgan to offensive line, so he'll be in there. You got Shamir that can compete at guard. The big problem right now, the big thing is trying to find some guards, and I think Andrew's natural position is center, and then we'll get Freddie back in the fall at center.
I imagine it's got to be
Chris
pleasing.
Griffin's hurt, so he's out. I mean, he's another guy we were counting on to play guard, so it's like anything, you try to mix and match and piece it together.
I imagine it has to be pleasing to have enough defensive tackles in your program and coming in to be able to